Right, here we go. So at the top of your page, you can write there shouldn't be an E back here, no? Should. Thank you. Okay, so in your textbook, I'm just quickly going to read what it says there. It says, Pythagoras' theorem is one of the most useful tools in geometry. You can use it to solve many everyday geometric problems. Although it is about right-angled triangles, you can use it to find out whether a triangle is right-angled or not. If you know the lengths of all three sides of a triangle, you can use the relationship between the sides to decide whether the triangle is acute-angled, right-angled, or obtuse-angled. Oh, bye, donkey. Thanks. Okay, so basically in a nutshell, so far, I have been giving you guys triangles, and we said it must have a 90 degrees angle, right? And then I gave you two sides, and you had to calculate the third side. Now, what I'm going to do now is I am going to give you a triangle. Let's talk about triangle ABC. And then I am going to give you the length of those sides. I'm going to give you 3, 4, 5. But can you see that there's no right angle? So you don't know whether it is a right angle triangle yet. So then we basically do the reverse, the opposite, the converse of what we have been doing so far. Now, what did we see when we did Pythagoras? The hypotenuse was two things. It was the longest side, and it was also the one that was opposite the 90 degrees angle, right? Okay, so we're going to use 3 steps. Step 1, and I'm going to write them out here. Step 1, we're going to get longest side, and I'm going to square it and see that it's equal to what? Okay, then step 2, we're going to take the two short sides and we are going to square and add them. You guys fine so far? We'll do an example. Then step 3. We must check whether step 1 and 2 is equal to each other. We're going to check whether step 1 is equal to step 2. Because if it is, then we know that it would be a right-angled triangle. Okay. If it is equal, yeah.
I'm not going to pay attention. I'm going to go to the Tom tomorrow and get a buy me book. I think this month dead and then we'll stop.
We've got 3 more chapters left. Nee, maar koop een van die dun liedjies. Of I would be fine if you carried on with folios, I'll supply. En dan stapel jy hulle bymekaar en sit dit net agterin. Okay. Luister. Right. So is everyone fine with that so far? Okay. So let's do the example so you can actually see. Okay. Okay. You guys, in the examples that I'm going to do with you, we are going to have acute angled and obtuse angled triangles as well, not just right angled triangles. But in the exam, I will only ask you guys for whether it's a 90 degrees, meaning a right angle triangle, or not. Okay. You won't have to specify whether it is an obtuse or an acute angle triangle. Okay. So you can just say, is it a right angled or is it not? Okay. Right. Can I skip? Come on, people. Skryf, skryf, skryf. Wie skryf nog? Okay. Are you guys done? You're going to do an example on that same picture now, yes. Yeah. Can I skip? Good. Okay, quiet. Right. Step 1 says we take the longest side and square it. The longest side, look at the length of those sides, 3, 4, and 5. Obviously, the bigger number is the longest side. So I'm going to say AC, square that, meaning 5 squared. And that's going to give me 25, right? Okay, so that was step 1. We took the longest side and we squared it. Okay, now step 2 says, take the two short sides, square them, and add them. So the two short sides would then be AB and BC, right? So 4 squared plus 3 squared, and that is also going to give me 25. You guys fine with that? Maybe just, I'm going to put that step here. I'm going to say that's 16 and this is 9. So 25. Yeah. I did. Huh? Oh, okay. 3, 4. Okay, let me do that. Okay, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same. Okay. Right. So, what I want you to see is that over here I got 25. And over there, I also got 25. So which means that this will be equal to that. Do you guys agree? Okay. So therefore, AB squared plus BC squared is equal to AC squared. Now, usually we would write Pythagoras, right? But I'm not allowed because I didn't know that there was a 90 degrees triangle. There was a 90 degrees angle. So what we did just do is we did the opposite. No, we first went and proved that they would be equal to each other, and therefore my reason would be converse of Pythagoras. You guys fine with that? Yeah, sorry. Okay, so converse of Pythagoras. Now, if I were to, so triangle ABC, gaan nou luister, is a right-angled triangle. Now, where would the 90 degrees angle be? Would it be at angle A, B, or C? Where would it be? Angle B. Why at B? Because the 5 is my longest side. And the 90, that would be the hypotenuse, no? And the 90 degrees angle is always opposite that one. So angle B would be equal to 90 degrees. You don't have to say that yellow part, but they might ask you which angle will be the 90 degrees angle. Everyone fine with that? Do you want to try one on your own? Okay, there we go. You can try that one on your own. No, you don't have a choice. Okay. Shh, 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 shh. So maybe this first one. Alright. Example 1. And make this example 2. You done? I don't know. We're going to see now.
So,
Mm.
if like ABC squared is the same as AB squared plus BC squared,
Mm. Then it's a right angle triangle, yes. Yeah. Are you guys done? Yeah. You must add and square. Okay, right. So step 1 is take the longest side. And in this case, the 10 was the longest side. So I'm going to say DE squared, meaning 10 squared. And that should give you 100. Okay. It's not drawn to scale. Okay. It's not drawn to scale, people. If I were to draw it to scale, then you would immediately know which one would be the hypotenuse, and you would be able to see where the 90 degrees angle is, and that's not the point, okay? I need you guys to go work it out. By what? No, not D. No. No. F. Okay, right, let's finish first. Then, julle daar's so vrotkool daar agter wat heeltyd gesels. Right. So we took the longest side, we squared it. So 10 squared, and that then gave me 100. Now, step 2 is take the two shorter sides, square them and add them, meaning I'm going to take DF squared plus EF squared. And that will then be 8 squared plus 6 squared, and that is also going to give me 100. Okay? So, therefore, if I square and add these two short sides, they gave me the same as that equal sign is important to DE squared, and that was because of converse Pythagoras. Okay, now triangle DEF, yes, is a right angled triangle. You will see in the questions, sorry, they're going to ask you, classify the triangle. So you can't stop here because you're not saying what type of triangle it is. You're not classifying the triangle. So that's why I have to end with triangle DEF is a, and then you say obtuse angle triangle or acute angle triangle, or in this case, right angle triangle. Okay. Okay, the right angle in this case, remember, it will always be opposite the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side, which means the 10. Okay, so what's opposite that? Angle F. No. Yes. We're going to do an obtuse and an acute angled example now. Yeah?
There and triangle is a right angle.
Yeah?
What if angles and triangles is 90? Oh, that makes sense.
People. It can be obtuse or acute, but in the exam this year, I will ask you, is it a right angled or not? So in this exam, You won't have to say if it's not a right angle, you don't have to specify whether it's acute or obtuse. You can just say it's not a right angle. Okay. Can I skip? Right. So, again, not drawn to scale. Okay. So, let's do this one together. Right. So, we start with the longest side, which will be the 25. So, I'm going to say hi squared, which is 25 squared. And that gives me what, 6 to what? 6 to 5. Okay. Now, I take the two short sides, meaning GH and GI. I square each one of those, square them and add. So 10 squared plus 24 squared. And that gives me 676. Okay, now have a look. 625. Hoekom wil hy nie dit doen nie? 625 and 676. Is it the same? No. So I am going to say GH squared plus GI squared. I cannot say equal yet. HI squared. Now, I'm going to delete this part just now. HI squared was 625. That side, I got 676. So if I were to fill in a sign here, which way, it can't be equal. So which way would it be facing? That way, right? Okay, so I'm going to have that. Okay, now, I always think of Pac-Man, no? Which way is Pac-Man biting towards? Towards the two, yeah, towards the bigger one, no? But it's biting towards those two smaller sides added up together, no? Okay, so do you guys agree that our hypotenuse side, or actually HI, is smaller than those other two? No? Okay, now, unfortunately, on the video, it won't make sense, but yeah, it will. Okay? There's my 90 degrees angle. No? Yeah. Kyk hier, my kind. Okay, so there's my 90 degrees angle. I can't draw a hypotenuse, but it's over here. No? Okay, now, you said that the hypotenuse is smaller than those two added up. No? So look at what happens when it's smaller than. This happens. No? So what's happening to the angle here? It's getting smaller than 90. So what type of triangle would it be? An acute angled triangle. Okay. So therefore, triangle GHI is an acute angled triangle. Does that make sense? Huh? You guys are fine with that? Okay, so just for interest's sake, have a look. Let's say the sign was swapped around. The hypotenuse was bigger than the other two added up. No? Now, this is a 90 degrees. If the hypotenuse was the larger one, that's going to happen. No? So what's happening to the 90 degrees angle? It's getting bigger. So then it would be obtuse angle triangle. Do you guys agree? Okay. Do you want to try the next one on your own? Can I skip? Anyone still busy here? Okay, there we go. Try that one. Yeah.
Why you say EF instead of FE?
Same thing.
Oh, so it's
Yeah, you can talk about EF or FE.
So it will,
Same one.
so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. Quiet. Finish this one, please.
I just did 127.
Yeah.
For every end of the year, usually for every term, for every 7 I get paid 100 rand. So, if I get all my subjects 7, I'm now, so let's say we have 8 subjects.
Mm.
I get 800 rand per term.
That's flipping lekker.
And then for all my subjects now I've got a 7, except for science. So I would have been on the, I would have been on the merit list, but my science put me down.
En nou kry jy minder geld.
And then it's fine, there's still the other 7. I get paid, that's not my motivation to get study. I don't have motivation, that's my problem. No one can drive me to get my
Are you guys done? Okay, then be quiet. We're busy working. Hmm? Can I? Next slide. Okay, yeah. Hmm?
How do you know when a triangle is obtuse or acute?
You look at that sign, greater than or smaller than. I'll tell you just now. Have a look on the board. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, if the hypotenuse is greater than the other two added up, if this happens, so this 90 degrees here becomes obtuse. So then it's obtuse angle. If the hypotenuse is smaller, look, smaller, so it becomes an acute angle triangle. You done? Okay, listen. Yeah? There? Okay, I'm going to quickly open up so you guys can see what's going. Yeah? Yeah? No. You can't say converse Pythagoras because we're not using any Pythagoras because it is, there's no 90 degrees. Ja, jy kan nie. Omdat hy nie uitwerk nie, kan ons niks sê van Pythagoras nie. Okay. Ja? It's fine, as long as it's facing the right thing. Yeah. Okay, right people, the bell's going to ring, so I just want to quickly make sure. So you should have df squared is 32 squared, meaning that's going to give you 1024. Then I'm going to take those two short sides, add and square them. That's going to give you 676. Then I'm going to say DE squared plus EF squared will be less than DF squared. So your sign must be facing the hypotenuse. And that means that it's an obtuse angle triangle. Good. You guys have got your homework? You may go.